जय जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गौर गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा गिरिराज गोवर्धन ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा द्वारिका धाम की जय, श्रीक्षेत्र जगन्नाथ पुरी धाम की जय, नवदीप मायापुर गंगा मैया की जय, यमुना मैया की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, समवेत भक्त यथाय गौर प्रेमानंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 6, Purusha Sattakantram, text number 13. Saeshadya Purusha Kalpe Kalpe Srajatyajaha Atmamanya Atmanamatmanam Sasanchayashatapati cha Saeshadya Purushaha Kalpe Kalpe Srajatyajaha Atmatmanya Atmanamatmanam Sasanyachati pati cha Sayeshadya Purushaha Kalpe Kalpe Srajatyajaha Atmatmanyatmanatmanam Sayanchati pati cha Saha, he, Eshaha, the very, Adhyaha, the original personality of the God, Purushaha, the Mahavishnu incarnation, a plainly portion of Govinda, Lord Krishna. Kalpe Kalpe, in each and every millennium, Srejati creates Ajaha, the unborn, Atma, self, Atmadi, upon the self, Atmana, by his own self, Atmanam, own self, Saha, he, Samyachati, absorbs, Pati, maintains, Cha, also. Translation and purport by is Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srimad Prabhupada. Translation. That supreme original personality of the Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, expanding his plenary portion as a Mahavishnu, the first incarnation, creates this manifested cosmos. But he is unborn. The creation, however, takes place in him, and the material substance and manifestation are all himself. He maintains them for some time and absorbs them into himself again. Purport. The creation is non-different from the Lord, and still he is not in the creation. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text number 4, as follows. Maya tadamidam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtina matstani sarvabhutani nachaham teshu avasthitaha. The impersonal conception of the Absolute Truth is also a form of the Lord called Avyaktamurti. Murti means form. But because his impersonal feature is inexplicable to our limited senses, he is the Avyaktamurti form. And in that inexplicable form of the Lord, the whole creation is resting, or in other words, the whole creation is the Lord himself. And the creation is also non-different from him. But simultaneously, he, as the original personality of the Godhead, Sri Krishna, is aloof from the created manifestation. The impersonality gives stress to the impersonal form or feature of the Lord and does not believe in the original personality of the Lord. But the Vaishnavas accept the original form of the Lord, of whom the impersonal form is merely one of the features. The impersonal and personal conception of the Lord are existing simultaneously. And this fact is clearly described both in Bhagavad Gita and in Srimad Bhagavatam, and also in other Vedic scriptures. Inconceivable to human intelligence, the idea must simply be accepted on the authority of the scriptures, and it can only be practically realized by the progress of devotional service unto the Lord. And never by mental speculation or inductive knowledge or inductive logic. The impersonalists depend more or less on inductive logic, and therefore they always remain in the darkness about the original personality of the Godhead, Sri Krishna. Their conception of Krishna is not clear. Although everything is clearly mentioned in all the Vedic scriptures, a poor fund of knowledge cannot comprehend the existence of the original personal form of the Lord when He is expanded in everything. This imperfectness is due to more or less to the material conception that a substance distributed widely in parts can no longer exist in the original form. The original personality of a Godhead, Adyaha, Govinda, expand himself as a Mahavishnu incarnation and rests in the causal ocean, which he himself created. The Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, text number 47, confirms this as follows. Yah karanarnavajale vajati sma yoga nidramananda jagadanda saroma kupaha adhara shaktim avalambya param swamurtim govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Lord Brahmaji says in his Brahma Samhita, I worship the primal Lord Govind who lies down in the causal ocean in his plenary portion as a Mahavishnu. With all the universes generating from the pores of hairs on his transcendental body, and who accepts the mystic slumber of eternity. So this Mahavishnu is the first incarnation in the creation, and from him all the universes are generated and all material manifestations are produced, one after another. The causal ocean is created by part of his different manifestations. The spiritual sky is an expansion of his personal rays, and he is the Mahat Tattva good also. He lies down and generates the universes by his breathing, and again by entering into each universe as a Garbhodak Sai Vishnu. He creates Brahma, Shiva and many other demigods for maintenance of the universe, and again absorbs the whole thing into his person as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9.7. Sarvabhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshaya Punastani Kalpado Visrajamyaham. O son of Kunti, when the kalpa or a duration of a life of Brahma is ended, then all created manifestation enter into my Prakriti or energy, and again When I desire, the same creation takes place by me, by my personal energy. The conclusion is that these are all but displays of Lord's inconceivable personal energies, of which no one can have any full information. This point we have already discussed. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Dhananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Vadadanasya Trinam Dante Vidam Yache Punak Puna Srimad Rupapadam Pojo Visyam Mama Janmani Janmani Namahom Vishnupadaya Vishnavrishaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidinam Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashyatare Shatarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashyatare Shatarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vashyatare Shatarine. So, by glorifying Prabhupada, we say that Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. He has come to this Western world to save the impersonalists and the people who follow the voidism. Why so? Because the base of whole Vaishnava Siddhanta is that Lord is person. He is not an imperson. He is just not a light or he is just not a void. But he is a person. And that's why while offering the prayers, Lord Brahma says here, Sa Esha. Sa means that. Purushaha kalpe kalpe srujat tyajaha. From him, one more Purusha comes. And he manifests this material world again and again. He creates it and again absorbs it. So it's not like the impersonalists, what they think about. Once everything has ended up in this material world, when everything goes into the Mahavishnu and eternally stays there. It never happens like that. But kalpe kalpe, millennium after millennium, again it comes into existence and again it gets destroyed. So it's not that it goes and sits there eternally. When the time comes, it again manifests. And when the time comes, again it gets destroyed or gets absorbed into the body of Mahavishnu. So Esha. So that is a person. It's not a light or void. And from him another person comes, he is known as a Purusha. There are 3 Purusha avatars of the Lord. The first Purusha is known as a Mahavishnu, from whose pores innumerable Vaikunthas they come into, the innumerable universes they come into existence. Then there is a second Purusha incarnation, which is known as the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. The Karanadakshayi Vishnu, what he does, he creates his own ocean, which is known as the Karana ocean, Karanodaka ocean. And he lies on that. Then millions of Brahmandas or universes, they float in that. then each of that universe, he expands himself as a Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from whose navel Brahmaji appears. And then that Brahmaji, he gets together all the ingredients which are available there from Mahat Tattva, then mix them as per the proportion and creates different varieties of bodies. When once all these bodies are created, then this Mahavishnu, he gives his merciful glance on that. Then they get impregnant and Jiva enters into that body and they become activated. Once they got activated, the Lord again in his third Purusha avatar, which is more as the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, who lies in each universe on the Kshirodaka Sagara or in the Shweta Dvipa or Rama Vaikuntha. And from there, he manifests himself as a Paramatma in everyone's heart. So in this way, Lord Krishna is everywhere through his third Purusha incarnation. But still, he is not there as a person. To understand this, it's very complicated, but still Lord says that whoever understands this, he gets rid of the material world. And just to establish this, Prabhupada has quoted one shloka from the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, and text number is 4, where Lord himself says, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina matstani sarva bhutani nachaham tesha avasti. Why he is considered, even though he is there in everyone's heart, still why he has considered impersonal or avyakta? Because we can't perceive him through our this blunt senses. For these blunt senses, it is inconceivable, inexplicable. You can't experience him through this blunt senses. That's why he is known as the avyakta. It's not that he is not having any feature. That's why he is called as avyakta. He has feature. He has his own expansions. They have also their own feature. And they are all active. They are just not a light. They are a person. So are you getting it what I am explaining? So Lord is not impersonal. He is person. And here avyakta means which is not explicable or experienced or perceived by our blunt material senses. But once the senses gets purified, how do they get purified? What's the process for that? Sorry? Devotional service. How it starts with? Exactly. Shunvatam svagata Krishna punya shravana kirtanat hridayantasva bhadrani vidunoti surutsutam. Once you start hearing about the glorification of the Lord, then your heart gets purified. Once hearts get purified, then what happens? Drashta evat manishware. Then you will be able to see that Ishvara which resides in your heart, which is known as a Paramatma. When once heart gets purified, then you can perceive that person who is residing in your heart. Evam prasanna manaso Govindabhakti yogata bhagavat tattva vidyanam mukta sangha samachara. And once, if you know that he resides in your heart and starts rendering devotional service unto him, then what happens? Mukta Sangaha, you become liberated in this same body. Because there is no bodily conception of life once you realize that you are not the spirit soul, but material body. Are you there? What I am saying? What I said? Huh? We are not material body, but a spiritual soul. I said the opposite. And no one has opposed me. Are you there or sleeping? Eyes open but sleeping. Huh? Again, Drishta evat manishvare. When you can perceive that Supreme Personality of a Godhead in your heart, when your heart is cleansed, and when you realize that you are not this body but spirit soul, and when you connect himself with or through devotional service, evam prasanna manaso bhagavata bhakti yogataha, when you get connected him with bhakti yoga, then mukta sangha, then you become liberated. Liberation means not that after leaving this body you will go and merge into impersonal form of the Lord. That is called as a sayujya. But even this material body also you can attain that liberation. Mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthitaha. That's what explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is meant by mukti? Mukti hitva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthitaha. To get positioned in our own constitutional position as a servant of their Lordship, that is known as a liberation. That is known as a mukta sangaha. Then again, Prabhupada explains the one particular word from this verse, that avyakta murtina. Avyakta murtina. Here again, the point as emphasis by Lord is murtina. Murtina means form. Why that form is avyakta, impersonal, or which is not perceived? Because we have our blunt sense. And once they get purified, then you can perceive him everywhere. And that person is known as a Mahatma. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakrim ashritaha. That person is Mahatma who has taken shelter of the Lord's superior energy. And what he knows? Vasudevam sarvamiti. Everything is Lord. Who considers that, that person is known as a Mahatma. And that's why he never differentiates male body, female body, animal or human. No, he does not have any difference, because he sees that Paramatma in everyone's heart. And that's why he is known as a Mahatma. Sarvatra vasati iti sa, that is Vasudeva. Who resides in everyone's heart, that is known as a Vasudeva. And who sees that particular position of the Lord, who perceives in that way, that person is known as a Mahatma. Not only in Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam, at various places, this thing has elaborately explained. And already we have seen in previous verses. Now, Prabhupada says these impersonalists, they are morally dependent on inductive logic to understand the person, or to understand the Lord. But that's not the way to understand the Lord. Tarko pratishtha shrutayor vibhinna. You can't establish the existence of Lord or his personal feature through tarka or logic. But only through devotional service you can do that. And this imperfectness is due to more or less to the material conception that the substance distributed widely in the parts can no longer exist in the original form. Because we perceive things as per our knowledge, which is based on our material experiences. Somewhere in past we had an experience that above 40 degree something is there, then I put my hand in that, then I will get burned. So this material experience is there. That's why in future, whenever that thing happens, I immediately say, no, it's hot. Why? Because I know that. It depends on my personal experience. But it never happens with the Lord. You can't understand or to get that knowledge about the Lord through our past material experiences. Because you can't experience the spiritual substance through your material experience. And most of the people, they try to do that. They try to judge Lord's activities as per our activities. Now that Holy Festival is going to come. And people, they enjoy this Holy Festival. But what's the reason behind this Holy? Why they have to do this? They said Lord Krishna has done. And then they put all dirty, nasty songs of Bollywood movies and do all rubbish things. The essence behind that festival is lost. If you go to Vrindavan or Barsana, even there also people have lost the essence of this festival. They are celebrating in a mundane way, not as per the Shastric or logical terms. Very few temples who are following still that old tradition, they do that. During that particular day, they sing different songs of the Lord's wonderful pastimes, that he has intimate pastimes with the gopis, with different ragas according to the different timings, with the proper instruments. They sing beautifully. And with the natural colors, they apply it on Lord's body. But if you go and see the other places where the way they celebrate, it's just chaos. 5, 6, 7 days, it's like a chaos. Actually, this festival is meant to understand that we should not get colored by the material opulences. We should get colored with the Lord's consciousness. One of the great saints who is well known in Maharashtra, his name is Tukaram. The Tukaram Maharaj, he has wrote down nice abhanga or shloka on this particular aspect. Rangi rangere Shri Range Kaya Bhulayasi Bahirange. One should get colored by the Lord. His name is Sri Ranga. The Lord's name itself is a Sri Ranga. If you get totally covered or colored your consciousness with the color of Lord, then you will experience that eternal happiness, bliss. And he asked, why you have got colored with the material things? Because our consciousness is totally colored with the different enjoying objects of this material world. We are not able to perceive the real color of their Lordship. Actually, this festival meant to purify our consciousness and get colored with the Lord's consciousness, with the Lord's devotion. But that essence has lost. How many people really do remember their Lordship in that way and get engaged in His devotional service or in His glorification? If we just do it as a tradition or other people's they are celebrating, that's what we have to do, or for the social purpose, then it's useless. You are again dragging them again that same whirlpool. Our way of celebrating this holy is getting more and more connected to their Lordship. How you can color your consciousness with the Lord? By singing His glories, by glorifying Him, by absorbing ourselves that day more and more into chanting. Not just socially to, if they want, that's what we have to do. No? That's not the real purpose of celebrating that holy, putting the nasty colors on each other. It's not the way. Lord has done so many things. Before performing this holy, He has killed Putana and drank her milk also with the poison. Are you able to do that? We are just doing one thing, we are celebrating holy. But what about this thing? Being a devotee, we should understand this thing. We should not go along the current of the social atmosphere. What things makes us special than the social people? We do things unconsciously. That's why we are Krishna conscious. That's why we are considered as a devotee. Because everything we try to relate with the Lord. It's not that our things we try to relate with the material world. That should be understood. Devotion should not be flavored with the material life or material rules and regulations. That has to be understood. Otherwise, it's tough. Yesterday, I was reading one article which was published by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in his newspaper. And there he explains about what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Actually, both of them, they were on the way to visit some place. And while going there, it was so late that they have to halt at one particular place. And where they halted, that was a small temple. So they stayed there, and at the middle of night, they saw that someone is throwing bricks on them. Bricks, stones. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur just got up. He said, "What is this?" And immediately he understood that there is a problem with the ghost. So he just got up, sat down, and he started chanting the holy name of Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. And as he kept chanting, automatically that throwing of bricks stopped. Then everything became cooled down, and he slept. The next day, early morning, they got up, took bath, and they started for the next village where they're supposed to go. So when they reached their destination, few people, they wonder, how come early in the morning these people, they are entering into the village? So early, from where they have come? If they have to reach so early, means they have must be started walking by night. That's why they have come. But they look so fresh, must be they have slept somewhere. So the temple which they wanted to visit in that place, so they went to the temple, had a darshan, and the pujari then asked him, "From where you have come?" And they said, "We came from this place." They said, "It's too long actually. Where you stayed at night then?" He said, we just stayed outside of your village. There is one temple. So nobody goes there at night. He said, why? This temple is full of ghosts. I said, what? The Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, yeah, yesterday night we felt that. They said, actually, the ghost comes and he throws stones, bricks on the people whoever goes there. He said, yeah, the same thing happened at night. I said, how come? Then how come you people have survived? Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, nothing, just we got up and we chanted the holy name of Lord and everything just cooled down. And the people, they asked, can you tell us, actually that ghost is nothing but the priest who was rendering service in that temple. When he died, he became a ghost and he started creating problem for the people who are visiting that temple. We are surprised that this person, he used to always chant the holy name of Lord. Then how he has turned into the ghost? Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, he may have taken the holy name of the Lord, but that's only physically. Externally, he has taken the holy name of Lord. Then he asked, what was his behavior? How was he by his character? And people said he committed so many sins. But while committing sins, he was always used to chant the holy name of God. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he explained them that actually this person never chanted with the consciousness. He did everything unconsciously, externally. And he may do it for lifetimes, many lifetimes. That will not give him any sort of advancement in spiritual life. Then they asked, then how this person will get liberated? Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, if they hear the holy name chanted by the pure devotee, or the discourse on Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita from the pure devotee of the Lord, then he will get rid of this ghostly body. Why I am telling this story? Because we may chant the holy name of Lord, but if still we continue with the material and social activities, considering them as a devotional touch, then it's the offense to the service that you are doing to the Lord. And because of Nama Aparad, because of Seva Aparad, you may be chanting the holy name of Lord, but you will never progress in your endeavor for the devotional service of the Lord. So one has to be very careful. Otherwise there is no progress. Because we are not at that pure stage that by our choice we can force these material things happen to be a Krishna consciousness. That has to be understood. Only a Paramahansa can do this. Even Paramahansas also, they never dare to deal or tackle with the material nature. They always pray to their Lordship, that please keep me safe away from your Maya. She is very powerful because she is very honest to do her service given by the Lordship. But we are not honest to do our own service to their Lordship. And that's why we are here in this material world. So always be safe. And Prabhupada said that clearly. I'm afraid of only one thing, that my followers, they don't have enough fear of Maya. They take things so casually. Krishnanukulena, Krishnanushilana. Whichever is anukul to Krishna, that we should follow. It's not that whichever anukul to us, that we'll take and render service. No. Krishna anukulena. Anukulena Krishna anushilana. Whichever is favorable for Krishna to render his service, that thing we have to accept. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained there, if someone commits namaparat and still continuing with the holy name, but never works on this namaparat, how to reduce them, he chants also and continuously commits this namaparat also, then that person will not have any progress in spiritual life. It will be very difficult. That's why every day we say that we have to be very, very careful not to commit any offense against the holy name of the Lord. Hariname, Haristhane aparade tare harinam. If someone commits offense at the lotus feet of the Lord, then Harinam will take care of them. But if someone commits offense to the holy name, then where that person will go? Because Lord's holy name is more merciful than the Lord. You can take it anywhere and everywhere, at any stage of your life or any stage of your consciousness. But if you don't take it seriously, without committing any offenses, you will not have any problems. And to perceive their Lordship, it's necessary to purify our consciousness. And conclusion of all this purport that Prabhupada says, these all but displays of the Lord's inconceivable personal energies, of which no one can have any full information. Lord's energies are very difficult to understand. And that's why Lord's own identity, in full extent, we can't perceive. So it needs to be understood and taken it seriously, so that we can make progress in our spiritual life. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. बिना सोए आपने आज क्लास चलो प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की